Hello Ellesmead, this is Shadow Tree Dance. It's one of my songs. I've been working on it over lockdown. It started off as a poem and then it evolved and changed from there. Dancing before the dawn, at 4 a.m. the shadow tree waves through the glass front door. She waves, speaking of light, the night still clinging on. All who sleep are unaware of her. All who sleep have no fear of her. That silhouette tree, so close to me, beguiling me, enticing me in her dance. Now I'm dancing before the dawn, dancing before the dawn. I open the door ajar at 4 a.m. A fox calls my name through the glass front door. She calls, speaking of cubs and food they're longing for. All who sleep are unaware of her. All who sleep do not care for her. That 4 a.m. fox is hiding her tricks. She's luring me, capturing me in her call. Now I'm searching before the dawn, searching before the dawn. Through the open door she dives, out of the dark and into our light, up the stairs to our front room, looking for food to take to her cubs. All who slept become aware of her. All who slept develop a fear of her. That 4 a.m. fox, revealing her tricks. She's been luring me, she captured me into her dream. We're all startled before the dawn, startled before the dawn. Hello Ellesmead. So I just want to give you a little bit of an insight into the way that I've written my song. Maybe give you a few ideas of what you could do yourself, but I'm not really aiming to teach you how to do something. Just a little taste. Okay, so with Shadow Tree Dance, it began with me just waking up early in the morning and noticing what I saw when I looked towards the front door, which was this strange kind of shadow of a tree waving about. I was the only one up, so I was aware of it just being me. In some ways then I felt different to everyone else. You know, why am I awake and they're not awake? So later that day I just noted some of the things down that I've just said. Not in a poem or a song or anything, just some words to remind me. And that's something that maybe you've been doing with your diaries if you've been keeping them over the lockdown time. And what you could do is you could look through those diaries and see if one word or a few words or an experience or something you noticed stands out for you as something you'd want in a poem or in a song. So that was the first step for me. And then maybe a few days later I looked at what I'd written and I started cutting some words out and adding some words in, and it became this poem to start with. A shadow tree waves through the front door glass, speaking of lamp posts and night still clinging on, and all who sleep are unaware of that silhouette dancing before the dawn. So that was in its first form as a poem. And you might notice that in the song itself, it becomes speaking of light and night still clinging on. So I've removed that picture of the lamppost itself. But without a lamppost, we wouldn't see any shadow of a tree, because you need the light to make a shadow of an object, as you probably know, or you might know already, depending on which year you're in. So it was really through getting that first chorus together that was just about that shadow tree. Then I started thinking a bit about foxes, because I'm noticing them all the time. At night time, sometimes hear them calling out. When I take the dog for a walk in our communal garden, sometimes she dashes across the lawn because she sees a fox and the fox runs away. So I was interested in that play between maybe a fear of foxes and they could be dangerous, but also what happens in actual fact, at least in my experience, is the fox is more frightened of my dog or myself and always moves away. So it kind of gathered like a snowball. It built into a story. It wasn't that I sat down and I planned it out and I had a structure. It just kind of grew from that chorus. So I've been playing around with the pentatonic scale, and I noticed that that's what I've used in this song without actually planning to do that. So it's just an example of when you do that, that can happen. And these are the notes that are in my song. Well, although not in that rhythm. So part of the song goes like this. Dancing before the dawn. So listen on the piano. And these are the notes in that pentatonic scale. So I've actually used these first four notes in the main bit of my tune. And it's just in the chorus where I add this dawn. And we don't have, we have this note, but we don't have this note in the pentatonic scale. So I just want to just repeat, that if you practice something like one of the major or minor pentatonic scales that I've gone through in other clips, it might just start coming into your mind and it might be there for you to use in a tune. Or, like I say, you could take a tune from a song you like, or you could just play around with the backing of a song you like and make something up.